Hello and welcome to the Halftime Show, the only show on television which allows football fans to air their views on the most important games of the season. And today's big game is Manchester United versus Arsenal. And with both teams fighting for the precious third and fourth positions in the league, the first half of the game has been full of interesting tactics, strong midfields and some very bizarre defending from one Mr. Phil Jones. But despite that questionable moment, Manchester United find themselves 1-0 up at half-time. We'll have all the discussion of all the decisions made by the referee, managers and players right here for you. We're joined as usual by some fans from each side who are willing to offer their views and opinions on everything we've seen in the first 45 minutes of what is set to be one of the closest games of the season. So let's start with that interesting decision made by Phil Jones. Was it a decision? Or was he gripped by indecision as he found himself sprawling across the turf? Was it brave defending?
There was indecision, but in the end, very brave defending.
Okay.
Like, you've got to admit, like, if he didn't put that solid header in, Giroud would be on target.
I thought
that's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I for a split second thought it was an X Factor audition, to be fair,
Really?
until I've seen it.
Not
But yeah,
the GB swimming team?
no. I thought, well, I wonder what this guy's doing. But you know, like I said, yeah, like a diving. But he did put his head on the line, and
Yeah.
it was a very, very brave decision because, like you guys know, it's either the right foot of Giroud or
That's the only thing you can do there. I mean, if you
Well,
don't want a ball in
yeah.
the net, you have to do
Well, he
that.
could have found his feet. He could have got up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not that easy when you're playing. You're not thinking.
True.
You don't
Yeah.
have to think too much.
You've got the
so
pressure on you.
You have to do.
And you're the last man as well. You're the last
Yeah.
man as well.
It definitely counted. Nobody can dispute that it
No, of
definitely
course
counted.
not.
His
Yeah,
header
it
came off
did.
Giroud.
Yeah.
And Giroud, of course, was instrumental earlier on in the season when it was Arsenal versus Man United. Arsenal were at home. He scored for you there. So you needed him to come through in this. Was he scared off by Jones, do you think? Did he hesitate because of Jones?
I think Jones is quite scary looking.
Right.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
He's got those faces.
got that
There's a
face going on.
scary looking
yeah, pretty
defensive
much like-
players. in
Yeah,
United,
exactly.
so-
So you
Like-
needed Giroud to make that shot because without him, you've had no shots at all. Not just on
It
target,
was
but no
terrible.
shots whatsoever for that first
Yeah.
half. And that hasn't happened in over 10 years.
No,
The
it
last
was a
time it
terrible
happened,
first half, wasn't it?
the last time that happened, you lost 2-1 to Liverpool in 2004. Are you going to lose to Manchester United today?
I think it's difficult to, it's just, it is one half of a football match. And, there is two halves to all games. And, things can change. But I think it's important to kind of, look at what they did wrong in the first half and look at how they can change that going into the second half. I'd like to see kind of, maybe a bit more, pace in the counter-attack, get the ball to Sanchez, get the ball to people that can influence the game for us. And that's what I think can change the game.
Is Arsenal going to turn up? Are they there? Is it a game that
I think
they want to play?
I think they should do because Arsenal are facing a pretty inferior Man United team at the moment. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
Do you agree? Say why you think it's inferior.
I don't think so. I think at the moment we've got it right. I think the second half of the season has been brilliant. I think coming from where we've been with David Moyes now Van Gaal coming in, he's done such a fantastic job. I'm looking forward to.
Is fourth really fantastic for Man
Yeah,
United?
but that's
Yeah,
not the
no,
point because
we're
we've
improving. That's the thing.
started from.
Yeah.
Again, we've had Alex Ferguson for how many years with his team with the class of '99, always there, kind of gigs just retiring, whatever. But we're starting a new team now, and it will take time. We've got to spend money in the summer, but it will take time. But
Spend a lot of money for
But I
Well-
think that Van Gaal is the right coach to do that.
yeah,
To-
well, he's got
to build a
experience. He's
team.
got experience. Like,
With
So
Bayern.
you're happy with Van Gaal and you think
Yeah.
he'll be pleased with this season?
well, he's got Champions League position, so
Yeah.
that's
As
the
you,
main
of course.
thing there, I think.
But I think that
So-
Van Gaal wants more. That's the thing. He's a
Right.
good coach.
Oh, of
but
course,
he
of course.
always wants more. So
Let's talk about the goal. There's been one goal in this. Herrera, great right-footed volley from
Yeah.
him. But interesting how the Arsenal defence reacted to it because as Ashley Young was lining up to put his cross in, Mata came running diagonally across the box. Fellaini straight down the middle. Nobody marked Herrera at all. Did they underestimate what he can do or were they scared by Fellaini charging at them?
I think it's probably Fellaini. He's a big guy, and he's in the box. He is a powerful player. You look kind of defenders naturally will get sucked towards him, so that creates space for others. But yeah, I mean,
I think Arsenal tactically got it wrong.
yeah, like you said, letting Young get his cross in
Yeah.
was kind of a
literally.
fundamental flaw. If you
Okay.
stop the cross coming in, you stop.
Well, United have been
Fellaini.
playing very wide. lots of crosses, lots of width. Arsenal really haven't managed to get into the game. You're thinking it's down to tactics, not down to lack of player effort?
I think position, isn't it? I think Aaron Ramsey's completely out of position, and there was no assistance to Bellerin when Young made that actual run. So it's I think
the United players did a good job in the midfield. So I think that it's not only about Arsenal, but it's all about United, the control of the game of the United. So they're trying to.
But don't you think United gave Arsenal the goal? Pretty much by bad tactics, would you agree?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think
But I mean,
United got it right.
yeah, United
United
got it
got it
right.
right.
That's the thing.
United got it right.
So you want to see more of that in the second half?
Oh yeah,
So United stay up.
just continue how they're playing.
Keep attacking.
Keep
That's the
attacking.
thing. Yeah.
But
think-
Fellaini's doing well this
Best
season.
defending for us, I suppose, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
when
Well,
they
that's
had-
brilliant, guys. We'll come back to all of this. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But now we join Simon, who's out on the road for our weekly roundup of football news. And today he made his way down to Old Trafford, where he brings us all things relegation and success from this week.
Hello, I'm Simon, and this is your weekly roundup of the biggest football news in the last week. In the week that Steven Gerrard finished his career at Anfield in front of the Kop and Middlesbrough secured their place at Wembley in the playoffs, the relegation zone has been full of dramatic changes, with Newcastle managing to climb back out of the danger places despite losing to QPR, who are currently bottom of the league. Hull find themselves 18th, and Robbie Savage has stated in his BBC Sports column that he can't see any success for the team in their last game this season. Although fans continue to support Steve Bruce, with many brandishing "In Bruce We Trust" flags despite their struggles. For the teams at the bottom, their fortunes may now be out of their hands, with each of them relying on the other's results. And with just 3 points separating 16th and 18th place, it will all come down to the last day of the season, which makes for a very dramatic ending for all involved. Speaking of dramatic endings, Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard's career has come to an end, and it was an emotional moment as the captain walked onto the Anfield pitch for the last time. Joined by his 3 daughters, Gerrard walked a lap of the ground, applauded by both home fans and away as they recognised the truly remarkable career of one of Liverpool's longest-serving players, who made his career debut 17 years ago. Despite the emotional undertones to the game, Liverpool were broken down by Crystal Palace and suffered a 3-1 defeat, which may end Gerrard's Anfield career on a low note, but it is without a doubt one of the best careers the Premier League has ever seen. Gerrard's loyalty to Liverpool continues to shine through, as he refused to sign his new LA Galaxy shirt for fans after the game despite joining the club this summer. But we are sure that all Liverpool fans will wish him every success in whatever he does after making such a big impact on the Kop. And finally, some exciting news for Middlesbrough fans. The club cruised into the Championship playoff final after a 3-0 win over Brentford. The Bees have had some remarkable success this season, but their defence just wasn't strong enough for Middlesbrough, whose win at the Riverside clinched them a 5-1 win on aggregate. Borough now find themselves facing Norwich in the final to see who will join Watford and Bournemouth in the Premier League, and the game is set to be a cracker, with both teams desperate to break back into the top flight. That's all I've got time for this week, but join me next week when we have the final games of the season and all the dramatic news that comes with those final few moments on the pitch.
Thanks for that, Simon. It sure is going to be a dramatic week for all things football, and the next half of this game is going to be dramatic as well, with both teams looking to come as close to the top of the table as possible. Now, Arsenal, you can finish second this season, but first you're going to have to put some goals past Manchester United. And so far, no shots at all. So what's going to change?
I think first of all,
You both seem very dejected. You both look like you've given up already.
It's one of the worst halves I've watched, I think.
Yeah. Well, what
Isn't
gets
it?
done
I don't
about
think
it?
it's
What
that.
gets
I
done
don't-
about it now? Does Arsene Wenger say something? Does he substitute some players, or does he change tactics?
if there's
Everything?
if there's one thing I can bank on, is that Arsenal, there will be a reaction. They'll come out second half and they'll give it a go. And who knows what's going to happen. I mean, a couple of tactical changes, and it's still a close game. It's 1-0. It's not, it's not. We're not 3-0
It's
down.
in our hands, I think.
It's in your
Sorry.
hands.
Man United
in the
always
United
have
hands.
the whole season they've dominated possession in these games, and a lot of them they haven't managed to close out. Like the Chelsea game, they had 78% possession,
I think
and
what
they're
we've got
unable
to
to
do,
capitalise
well,
on these crucial games.
Yeah, what we've got to do is keep going with our defence. I think the defence in the first half has been okay and been good, but this season as a whole, I don't think United have had the best defence. But what we've got to do is just keep going as what we've been doing in the first half. But we don't know what tactics
I
and
think another pivotal thing is that you guys don't have Fergie time. You've got Van Gaal. That's halved to 3 minutes, then to 6 minutes.
We don't need that time. We don't need that.
I think that for the defense we need players like Phil Jones that do those kind of hustles because they're not good quality players, but
He's not good
they
on the ball,
can do
though.
the more thing.
Prone to making mistakes. I mean,
I know that, but you have to find a good defensive player in Europe.
Who's going to come on for Arsenal to change this? They're going to come on now?
I think they
or
need
later?
to
But
switch.
Who is it going to be?
I think they need to switch Ramsey around because he's out of
Yeah.
position, isn't he? I think
relying on, it's not just about the substitutions, it's about how the players who are on the pitch are actually influencing the game as well. I mean, to a certain extent, I think we need to get balls to the players that are able to influence play. Like I said, Sanchez, Ramsey can pull the strings, he can play some nice balls, out wide. So maybe, if we did bring on, looking at Walcott, some pace down the right wing, because.
Are you going to be scared if Walcott comes on?
Not at all. I think Marcus Rojo is fine
good.
and capable. But yeah, as long as we do what we did in the first half, I think we'll be fine. And
So you're going to try and sit on a 1-0 lead, or you don't think you're going to run away with this?
I don't want to.
We don't have to do it.
No,
That's the thing, we
I don't
have to
want to
do
sit
it.
on a 1-0 lead because if we do that, then we haven't got the best defence in the world. So we want to just take it to them because our midfield is solid and, like you said, possession for United has been brilliant. I think they've been
So
solid.
you'd be happy with more of the same?
Yeah,
You think you're
of
going to get
course.
more
Yeah,
goals?
we
Because
have
it's
Herrera,
working.
let's briefly talk about Herrera. So he scored 6 goals in 7 games for you. With the 2 he scored that's in the league. With the 2 he scored in the cup as well. He's scored more by himself than all of your midfielders and wingers did last season. So things are going well there. Van Persie's not well, so we've got Falcon on. If Van Persie was fit, would he have started instead of Falcon? Falcon's a player who some people say isn't proven yet.
Yeah, Falcao is a good player. As you can see, a couple of years ago he was joking with all the defense of Chelsea. But at the moment he's not that good. I think that Van Persie could be better, also for a start, also for, as a substitution. He could be good for this game.
Struggling with strikers at the moment, aren't you? Because
you kind of struggle. But we can do that. I mean, we have like Herrera, players like Herrera, like Ashley Young. You can do something. We can manage to score a goal. That's the thing.
I mean,
we have
potentially
Fellaini.
I think potentially the best attacking in the Premier League. If they all play on their form, they'll be the best attacking in the Premier League.
But any team, any of the top teams, if you say their attack, I think Man City's attack.
But if you look at the players that
Yeah.
previous clubs have been at, Van Persie
Come on,
won.
Falcao was awesome, really awesome. Before Monaco.
Yeah,
That's the
it's quite
thing.
easy to
That's the
say
thing.
if they were all playing
But
their
I
best.
think that we're trying to change all the way we play the game in a way more like he used to play with Atletico Madrid. So it will change, he will improve. So
Yeah.
Let's talk about another Madrid team quickly as well. De Gea hasn't had anything to do yet. We're not seeing much of him in what could be his last appearance in a United shirt.
I thought it was funny him going off.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious him going off. I think he was holding his face and then he was holding his arm and then he was holding his foot. So it's, I don't know, I think it's a quite strange one. Don't you think him going off semi-injured? I think he was scared of the fans.
I like De Gea as a
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
Do you think he's going to stay with United?
I hope so.
He's
I
go-
hope
he's-
so.
I think we're
He's
unsure.
going.
I hope
He's
not.
going.
If he seriously wants to, win Champions League trophies,
Okay.
and,
And is
also
he going to
he's-
leave a United team who won today or lost? Are you going to win?
Oh, of course.
Arsenal going to
Yeah,
bring this
yeah.
back?
Oh, hope so.
Yeah, I think
Hope
so.
Hope so, and
Definitely
confidence over here. Well, thank
Come
you
on,
very
guys.
much, guys. That says a lot, but that's all we've got time for, as both teams are now making their way back out onto the pitch for the second half of what is sure to be a close game. Join us next week when we'll be looking at the first half of the Chelsea versus Sunderland game as the champions of the league raise the cup at Stamford Bridge in front of the Blues fans. But for now, let's rejoin Manchester United versus Arsenal.